Hey, ¿qué pasa, Calexico? Welcome back to the podcast. Before I begin today, I want to thank my sponsors. My anchor sponsors are Jake and Jonathan. Thank you guys for sponsoring the podcast. I also want to thank David Gastelum. If you're thinking of buying or selling your home, thinking of buying an investment property in the Imperial or San Diego counties, then you must contact David Gastelum at 760-235-9576. He's not only a realtor, but an investor with over 20 years of experience. He will not only sell you your property, but teach you along the way on one of your most important investments that you will make. You can also find David on Facebook. Just look for David Gastelum and you'll find him, or just give him a call, 760-235-9576. All right, guys. So today we're here at Pro Valley Synergy Sports. And before we begin about Synergy, just tell us a little bit about yourself. First, we have Luis and Amanda.
You want first? Well, my name is Amanda Rose Gerardo. Right now, currently, I'm a PE teacher at Calexico High School. I've been involved in athletics since I was a young girl. But I played sports varsity level for 3 years, starting at my sophomore year. I played volleyball, and then I also did basketball and softball and did cheerleading for about 2 years. After that, I went on and got my AA in kinesiology. After that, transferred to San Diego State University to fulfill my bachelor's degree in kinesiology. And from there, I went on and did an internship at San Diego State University and helped out with the strength and conditioning coach. So training the athletes, D1 athletes, football, basketball, water sports, baseball, softball, and soccer. So that's pretty much it. And now I'm here at Synergy Sports. I'm the co-owner of Synergy Sports, and right next to me is Luis Briseño, and you can continue.
So once again, I'm Luis Briseño. I grew up in Calexico. I was raised in Calexico. I currently live in Calexico. I graduated Calexico High School at 2009. I played baseball there all 4 years, freshman to senior year. I received a scholarship to go play at San Diego Christian College. I played there for 1 year because I got a major injury in my elbow. They reconstructed my elbow. I am a pitcher, so they reconstructed my my UCL, which is called the Tommy John in baseball terms. After that, I came back to IVC. I had to take a full year off of baseball. Came back to IVC to further my studies. After I was recovered, I played there for 2 years at IVC. I received another scholarship at Holy Names University in Oakland, and that's where I ended my baseball career. And then that's where I graduated as well with a BA in sports biology. That summer of 2016, I got a job at William Moreno Junior High School as a PE teacher. This is my third year at William Moreno. And now I'm one of the founders and co-owners of Synergy Sports. So that's a little bit about me.
Okay, so going back to Synergy Sports, from what I heard, it started from, in your backyard with local kids. Like, how did you, get into, like, how did you say, like, oh, you guys want me to train you? Or how did, that you begin this, I guess, I don't know how to say it, but, like, how do you begin to, get involved with the athletes of, Calexico?
Well, I mean, I think it started during college. In college, you have 4 years to play a sport. I had to take an extra year of academics in order to graduate. So I think it was that year, 2015, 2016, where I was not playing baseball at all. That's felt really weird because all my life I've been playing a sport. And all of a sudden this year, I'm not playing anything. So at that point, I was thinking, well, what am I going to do to stay in sports? So I thought about coaching. I thought about training other athletes right there at Holy Names University. I did start training ex-teammates that were there, and then a couple more athletes from school. And that's when it all started. And then when it clicked, and I told Amanda, she was at San Diego State, it was like, hey, well, let's start something here in Imperial Valley, especially in Calexico, where we can actually train athletes and guide them to college, not only in the aspect of training, but also guide them in academics, giving them scholarships. And I believe that was a starting point where it all started. I think it was just of us stop playing sports, and now how are we gonna be involved and give back to our community.
And it was also a good way of us really communicating, because that was the year that I was doing my internship and he was training his baseball teammates and stuff like that. So it kind of was a little motivation for both of us, like, hey, let's do what you do over there, and then let's kind of combine it with the college level type of stuff.
Yeah.
So it was like we're feeding off each other's education. It was awesome. And that's how it started too.
So what do you call it? Is it a gym or like?
It's a mixture.
Yeah. It's not your ordinary gym where you come in and you work out and stuff like that. This is a really special facility. It's a sports performance training facility where we mainly focus on athletes. I mean, matter of fact, we focus on athletes, period. Mm-hmm. And we design these special programs for them. We go through assessments and see where they're at strength-wise, endurance, flexibility, their technique and form, and obviously their sport. So we design these sport-specific programs in order for them to excel and be at their best in their sport. I think that's what how we can. I mean, you can tell the difference between us and an ordinary gym.
Yeah, because in the gym,
we're actually guiding these athletes to perform these type of techniques that they need to do in their everyday lives. So we're also doing the basics stuff like squat, deadlifts, and then adding that to their sport-specific type of criteria, and where this can really develop not only here, but it can also do into the track field, it can go into the football field, it can go to the courts. And so I think that's what's special about us here. Mm-hmm. We really take in consideration of their well-being, of what they want, what they want to do. They want to be an athletic build, they want to be powerful, they want to focus on their strength, they want to work more functional wise, and then also the youth, more of the coordination, their agility. So that's what we really work on.
Yeah, that was one of the things I wanted to ask you, because you have like different courses, intermediate, beginners, and stuff like that. And obviously, like a younger kid is not really focused in, I want to become more, stronger. But the basics, your coordination and stuff like that is something that you guys offer here. Like,
yeah. So we start from 7 years old to about 11, and we recently started there because we started getting more of the youth into wanting to come and train with us. Mm-hmm. So for there, that beginner's class is more of the learning your basic movements, the squat without weight or anything, because if you can't do a regular squat, we're not gonna put weight on it, and you'll be all bad form. So we also work on that, and then a lot of coordination for our youth for that beginner class. So it's very functional movements that we would use every day is basically what we want to do. And then we bump up to another age group, which is, what age group is it, 12?
It's around
12 to 14?
12 to 15, depending on their experience and their form and technique. And then, so yeah, like Amanda was saying, it's just all based on their strength, their coordination, their technique, their form and experience. And just going back to the beginner session, we kind of focus on trying to get them athletic. I mean, if we get them athletic, it's going to be easier for them to translate anything
coordinated
to their sport. Mm-hmm. So that's our job here. I mean, to, like she said, focus on coordination, agility, and that will easily translate to the sport. And then, obviously when they get older, they get more stronger.
And they're capable to do other stuff, put up weight, or wherever they're capable to do at that moment.
So that's how we base our different sessions, beginners, intermediate, and of course our advanced, which basically 15 and older athletes.
We find it much easier because they're a lot older, they're a lot mature. Sometimes we'll get some athletes that are about 14 and they're not able to do what other 14-year-old would do if they've had experience. Mm-hmm. So we kind of always break it down. We put them to the side and we work with them one-on-one. And that's what a lot of the parents like, and a lot of the athletes, they respect that because we want them to get to that level. Mm-hmm. And so that's where I think we also are separated from other gyms.
Yeah, I was gonna go to that. Even if you go to a gym and you have a trainer, it's more of a weights, like it's not coordination or footwork or your stance and stuff like that. It's more of a do these weights and you work on your quads and do this, and so it's more of a wider range of working out or weightlifting than it is here, where it's like more specific to coordination and stuff like that. So I was looking around, and you guys don't have any machines. It's all free weights.
Yeah.
Is there like you guys feel that free weights is more beneficial for athletes, or?
Oh yeah, we're so anti machines. You won't see a machine here in this facility ever. Never. I think because a machine is
restricted.
Is really restricted, where you're just going to be able to do their movements. So if you do free weights, now using your entire body, you have to actually balance, use stability in order to push that weight or to pull that weight. In a machine, if you're going to just push it, you're going to push it. The machine wants it to push. Mm-hmm. But so, you eliminate the whole stability process, the whole balance process of the human body. So I think that's one of the reasons. Do you have anything else about the?
Also, it just those machines, they kind of restrict you from your range of motion. Is basically what we want our athletes to really understand, that some postures we really work on the alignment of the body. And I really think that it's very focused on where, sometimes our posture, we are like this all day. And sometimes we get to the machine and we're doing the same movements, but you have to really work on your posture, because if not, you're going to get those backaches and everything. So we really focus on weights like this because it really goes through the range of motion of how low they get in their squat, or how straight their arms are, so you can do an overhead press or anything. So exactly like Luis is saying, it's just restricted, and that's why we're working on that functional fitness, right? So we want to be all functional human beings in the world right now.
Cool. I was looking at the posters when I came in. You have like special days that you have like pitching classes or catching, stuff like that. I was also looking at, because of your Facebook, you have a lot of videos where you upload the athletes when they're here working out. And can you tell us a little bit more about the special courses that you guys offer in terms of like pitching or catching or?
Yeah. Well, we currently have professional athletes that come here and train during their off season, and the way they give back to the community is they offer any lessons, private lessons. For example, currently we have Kevin Garcia, who offers batting lessons, catching lessons as well, even fielding lessons. So he does that during the time he's here. Mm-hmm. And then we have Jacinto Garcia, who also is a professional pitcher. He offers pitching lessons here as well. And they do it all here, or if they have to go somewhere else, they go to a park and do their stuff out there. And also we have my brother Diego Briseño that also does hitting lessons as well. He either does it here or he does it at home at his batting cage. But yeah, we have a lot of professional athletes that come down here. They train, and we kind of ask them like, hey, do you want to offer this to the community? It'll be great for you guys. It'll be great for the whole community of Calexico and the Pearl Valley.
In terms of nutrition, do you guys help the kids, like tell them, what to eat, what not to eat, or if they're sore, like, oh, this will help you, get over your soreness, stuff like that, or is it not part of your? Yeah,
it's part of our whole routine we have here. So we really focus on the mobility and the flexibility portion of our workouts. And that's very important, because if our athletes aren't as flexible, they're not as mobile. And the reason why we really focus on that is because we want them to get that range of motion that we were talking about. So going to that, we always start with a good dynamic stretch. After that, we go into our activation of our muscles, either where it's your lower body or upper body, and then we go into our flexibility. And we do that every time they're here. And the reason why is just that they want to get a better warm-up, because if you don't get a good warm-up, you might get hurt. Yeah. And so it's proven scientifically that a longer warm-up prevents injuries. Mm-hmm. So we always take time with that, and we always do it after our workouts, either if it's upper body or lower body. We have foam rollers that they can use, and we teach them these specific ways. Then we also have lacrosse balls that really get into that deep tissue. But as for nutrition, we just have a basic nutrition plan. We are not dietitians or nutritionists because we don't have the degree. So we kind of lead them like, okay, you know what? If you're an athlete, you know, you want to work on your endurance, you need more what? Carbs. And then if you're more of a let's say baseball athlete, football athlete, you need more what?
More protein,
good fats, right? So we basically tell them here you have to eat your 3 meals a day, your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner. You can't skip meals. Okay, it's not important. It's important to get those because remember, fuel is your power, your energy. You need that because a lot of these students don't eat those 3 meals a day. So we really enforce those. We're not enforced, but we highly encourage them to do that. Anything else?
Yeah, I mean, we don't go in detail in nutrition. We just give them the basics. I mean, yeah, they're little kids. Yeah, they're gonna ruin their nutrition. They're not gonna follow a strict nutrition like a bodybuilder would. I mean, we just tell them eat a well balanced meal. Which I mean, you get your carbs, you get your vegetables, you get your protein, and you should be good. Yeah. And then maybe you can get a protein shake. So you can take it right after you work out. But we could keep it simple.
Yeah.
Later on, maybe if they want to go
more specific,
they can probably see a nutritionist. And
from there. Because I interviewed Miss Irales, the bodybuilder.
Oh yeah.
And she was like, no, you know, for me it's like I eat.
Yeah.
She's like strict.
They're so strict.
It's depending on what you're trying to do, but our kids here, you know, they sometimes skip lunch and so we really enforce that you have to really eat because that's your fuel. And if you don't eat as well, how are you going to perform here? And it's very important that we don't want you to be fatigued either.
Yeah. So. And in terms of academics, because I think I read on your Facebook or website that, you know, you guys do, you know, enforce like academics. You guys are on top of the kids when it comes to like grades and stuff like that. I mean, I know you work at the high school, so like it's easier for you to like kind of like harass these kids if they're not doing good, right? Because I mean, I think it's important. It's important that you know that these kids kind of like get an idea that you know you could kind of use athletics as a way to pay for college and stuff like that. Do you guys like kind of teach that to the athletes that come here?
Yeah, we really strive for athletes to really know the importance of them being students first and then athletes. So if they have to go and do a project, go for it. You don't have to come here, it's fine. Or we can send you a workout and you can do like a free weight type of thing or a core workout. But we really enforce that. We really want these students to get that good GPA, probably like a 3.5 to strive, because that's what colleges look at. Yeah. And they really want that all around athlete. So they're good in their studies because once you get to college, you're balancing back and forth. You're going to strength and conditioning in the morning, and then you go to school, and then you go to practice. And you go to homework. So we really try to enforce that type of norm that they're trying to build for. You know that. You know about that more importantly.
And adding to that, we do have grade checks as well. So we probably do about 3 grade checks a year. We do one in the beginning of the year, and then we're gonna do one during this time as well for the second semester, and then we'll do one at the end of one of the years, so we can just keep track of them. And then if something's going bad or they're struggling, we contact the parents. We talk to the athlete. We say, hey, you got to do this. We tell them the importance, and we kind of guide them through the whole academic process, so they know like you need this in order to play in college. So I mean, not in college, but I mean for everyday life. For a workforce as well. And us being teachers, I mean, I think that's the most important part. I mean, look at us. We're playing sports, but we got our education.
That's
the goal.
That was one of the things that when I knew you guys were opening, and I thought that was a good kind of like way to tie in. You guys were students from Calexico that ended up being athletes, and then you went to university, you got scholarships, and kind of like set an example of you can get, because for a lot of the Mexican cultures, our our parents aren't like really involved with our education. They're like, hey, make sure you can get A's or so you can go to college. I mean, if we end up going to college, is because we really wanted it, or somebody put it in our minds to like, oh, you guys can go to college or go to school. And for you guys that experienced it, you guys can like really kind of be like a good example to these kids that athletics is a good way to, if you're able to to pay for school and not be a burden on your family and stuff like that.
A good gateway. To like go. So that's what we really want them to strive for.
And I tell these athletes, your grades is your ticket out of here. The higher GPA, the more money the school or the coach is going to give you, because then academics is going to cover most of your scholarship, and then that's when athletics come. There's no such thing as a full ride from athletics. It comes from academics as well. So we push our athletes to go 3.5 GPA or above, and we both experienced it as well. I experienced as well. I was really good at academics, and fortunately I got a scholarship, and that's how I can relate to the students or kind of guide them.
Because sometimes I feel like they become like these prima donnas that they think like because they play here, or they put them up on a pedestal here, that they think that they're gonna go out in the real world, and but it's there's more competition, people that are doing this kind of thing like maybe on their own, and so like it kind of like opens their eyes when you have somebody like you guys that have seen it, like lived it, So I think that was something that I really thought it was cool that you guys came back and you guys are doing this for the community and setting an example for our kids. The other day I was in El Centro and I interviewed somebody from the LGBTQ research center. And they're like, oh, Calexico's doing a lot of events like the art walk and they're giving back to the community. I'm like, yeah, but it's like, to me, like I said these kids, because you guys are younger than me, so like I'm like, yeah, like it's all these kids that are coming back and putting all these events, like Chris that does the farmers market, and he's like volunteering all kinds of places. The art walk is Angel and all those guys that they're fairly young and they're coming back and giving all these events or resources to the community that I think that it's really awesome that the younger generation is kind of like bringing that pride back to Calexico, and this is a good example of that. So
nice.
I'm glad that you guys are doing that. Awesome. Do you guys want to say the address and where they can find Facebook and all that stuff?
Yeah, we're located. Our address is 221 Avenida Campillo. We're in Suite J and K. We're next to La Resaca or La Lonchera in that little complex. You can find us on Facebook, IBC Energy Sports, also on Instagram, Twitter, and we also have our own website, ibcenergysports.com. And that's where we can find
and
us.
Then if you want to contact us anyway, the number is 760-554-5563. And we're open to phone calls or messages. And that's
right now you guys already started your session, so can like people come in, or is it like specific times that they can come in to, if they want to train, or is it, do you guys have specific dates?
Yeah, we have a specific time slot for our athletes. So they come in at 6 o'clock and they end at 7:30. And then we have another slot coming in at 7:30 to 9. But the people can come in and they can kind of see what we do. And then from there, we kind of push them to either if they're their age group and if they have experience. But we don't you can just walk in and work out. It's there. You have a time slot. We have 8 weeks that we've been doing this session, and we kind of fill them in where we can, but nobody can walk in. They just have to contact us on phone, and we kind of figure out that way from there.
Okay.
But they can try out.
Yeah, we usually give like a couple of days or a week of a free trial just to see if they like it, or if they don't like it. But yeah, anybody can come in. I mean, we're not really strict. Like, no, just come back and to our next session. Mm-hmm. So we kind of work it out. We kind of kind of have like a fundamentals week where we kind of work privately one-on-one, so we can, because they're going to be a little bit behind for compared to all the athletes. So we take about a week just to prepare them, and then we bring them into the class. So I mean, it's a process. I mean, we're really strict on this just to make sure our athletes are there and they're not getting hurt, and telling us that they're ready to go to that class or to jump to the next class.
Yeah, because we're limited to space, and we only have 6 squat racks, and so it makes it a little bit more personal. Also, it's kind of hard to juggle sometimes because we're really focusing on their form and their technique, and these athletes have been here for like about 3 weeks, so we try to kind of accommodate with them and our schedule. So it's kind of like accommodation and adapting at that time. But anybody's free to come in, get information, and then we can work on finding ways where we can help the community.
Okay, cool. Is there anything else that you guys want to add?
I mean, I don't know. There's so much we can talk about Synergy Sports. I mean, of how we've grown and how it started in my backyard, and now we're here in a facility. And I mean, I just want to say that we don't do this. We don't expect anything in return. I mean, we don't want to be like exposed, like, oh, Luis Briseño, Amanda, you guys are doing a great job, or I mean, we're not making it for the money. I mean, because realistically, I mean, we're not getting rich out of this. I mean, and our time too. I mean, we work from 8 to 3, and then we take a little break, and then we're here from 5 to 9. So I mean, it's 24 hours. I don't know. We just love it, and every time we're here, we feel a different vibe where we're helping these athletes, and then we just see our athletes succeed in their sport. And then we see a lot of athletes, especially this past summer, where it was a really happy and sad moment where a lot of our athletes actually went and played college, where we first started 3 years ago in my backyard. They were like, what, 15
with 2 squat racks,
16 years old, and now they're going out of college. I mean, and that means a lot to us. And we're learning too. I mean, we're not like
crazy professionals.
Yeah, I mean, we're learning it. It's just like in any other job, any other profession. I mean, you're learning every year with experience and everything. So I think our stuff is getting better and better and better, and people are liking it, and people are seeing the results. So like I said again, I mean, it's more than just strength and conditioning. We help the kids, we support the kids, we guide them to college. We also offer scholarships. We've been offering scholarships for the past two years at Calexico High School. Our goal is to offer to all Imperial Valley high schools. We also we do community service as well. We feed the homeless. We're trying to get more involved with the community, so our athletes can get hours in community service. I mean, just like
we're trying to do more than just be in this gym. It's kind of amazing how we first started with just 2 squat racks, like I said, with just a strip of turf in the backyard, and we're just doing it just because we like it. Like, we're not here to be rich, like Luis said. So it's kind of amazing how we develop and how we're getting better and better, and now we're in this little kind of 2 suites, and it's kind of a sweet feeling, because it's amazing how these athletes, they love it. They're not there to throw up or anything. We're here to make sure everything they're doing is correctly, and how it can just transfer, and not only to the field, to education, to make them strive to want to be maybe going to the nursing field. It just, anything can be coming up. And it's kind of crazy how a lot of athletes have come up to me and Luis and said, so how do you get a kinesiology degree? And I'm like, awesome. There's not many kinesiology degrees here. So it's kind of great how we're kind of pushing that too. Like, well, you can do you can do this with kinesiology, you can do this. And it's sweet too where we're seeing our athletes at school, and they're waving at us. They're like, "Oh, we'll see you at 6." And I'm like, "Okay." So it's kind of cool. And we see not only we keep in contact with our athletes, as in we see their Instagram or their Facebook, and they're doing great out there. We have Michelle Roldan. She's like hitting a couple home runs, and Rafa Lopez.
Yeah,
we just saw him.
He just sent us a video today. He actually was squatting. He hit a new personal record in a squat. So cool. And then we keep in contact with everybody else, and then they come all of them come back in the summer and they train with us. So it's like a little reunion again, and trying to work them hard again, and then again it's sad to say goodbye, and then they come back. So it's pretty cool. I mean, it's this summer we had a lot of athletes leave. We had Jesse Lopez, we had Moran, we have Rafa Lopez, we had Alex Duarte, Christian Zamudio, Raul Navarro, RJ, D'Anthony Moreno, he's playing at IBC. So I mean, it's cool. It's cool, and all of them started when they were like 15 or 16, and man, it's just amazing. So now we're excited to see where our beginners are going to end up.
Yeah,
now,
it's a good feeling. It's great. It's great to not only to be a personal trainer, but we're actually coaching. Yeah. And it's great. It's a great feeling, and we don't expect anything in return. We just want to see these kids live out their dreams and strive for the greatness. And it's just amazing how we started off, and then it's just getting better and better.
Yeah, and it's crazy that you're like, oh, we're not like professionals, but yet you give this vibe like, you know, you're doing it forever, and like I mean, it shows that you have experience. You know, you went to school, and you know what you're doing. It really shows that, you know, because you know, you see your boards, and then the way you just talk about like stuff that I don't even know what you're talking about. You know?
We put our scientific terms.
Scientific terms.
So like, I mean, like at least to me, you give me that vibe that like you're on top of your game, and you know, it shows that it's paying off. You know that, you know, I mean, especially when you have kids coming back, it shows that, you know, you guys are doing a great job, and when kids that go away and then want to come back in the summer and train with you, I think that's really awesome that, you know, you're putting they see that you're putting a lot of effort into them, and into them striving and succeeding, that, you know, they want to come back and do it, and I feel that in the long run it's gonna you know, you're gonna get more and more of that, and you're gonna have to get a bigger place because all the summers you're gonna have like all these kids coming back.
Yeah. That's what we're just kind of afraid of this summer. Let's see how many athletes we have, and because this past summer we were working out, or we were working from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m.
with one break,
with one lunch break,
1 hour lunch break.
So I mean, like,
it was amazing.
It's just because we love it, and we want to help these kids, and we don't want to turn them down, and
we don't want to say no.
and most importantly, I mean, we did this because we want to tell everybody in Pura Valley, Calexico, about the importance of strength and conditioning, and just tell them that this has to be in your routine. It has to be in your routine in college, or if you go to a professional level. I mean, you can tell any professional or college athlete, I mean, hey, do you do strength and conditioning? Of course they're going to do it. I mean, that's part of the routine. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I think we want to bring awareness to parents, athletes, that you have to do this. I mean, you'll see the big difference when you implement strength and conditioning into your routine, not only to get stronger, faster, and bigger, but also to prevent those injuries during the season. I mean, you're in like towards the end of the season and your shoulder's already hurting. You already pulled a hamstring and or whatever. But then again, did you prepare your body for that? Yeah. And a lot of people don't see that. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to expose that to people that this is really, really important. I mean, yeah, you can be skillful, but there's going to be another athlete that's going to be skillful, but also has that physical ability. And I mean, you're going to sit on the bench while this person is just, I mean, outplaying you the whole time. So, and that's what we noticed in college, where I was getting a lot of like advice, like, you shouldn't lift, you're going to get hurt. Or other people, yeah, you should lift, or no, you should just run long distance or do swimming. So I was in my mind, I was like, well, what do I do? Like, I mean, I was just a kid. I mean, my parents didn't know anything about sports or about the process of being an athlete. And when I got to college, that's when it clicked. Like, I was skillful, but in the weight room, I was like, damn, these are beasts. These are animals right here. They're grown men and they're already lifting hard and
Crazy.
I'm way behind. So, and that's when it all clicked and with education and research, and that's what we kind of realized, like, okay, yes, it makes sense.
And also a lot of people have that old school mentality of where it's just speed. It's fast. You have to be fast to be a great athlete. You have to be fast. Yeah, you have to be fast, but you also have to strengthen your muscles because they're going to just be running the whole time. And if you don't protect your muscles, as in to really get them stronger, you can really get injured. And I don't even remember in high school lifting weights at all. At all. I just barely started when I was in college. And it wasn't even in college where I also played softball at IBC, but we didn't really do any like power lifts that we do. We really incorporate the power clean we really noticed that in that college athletes that they really focus on that power clean because it's a very powerful movement from the floor to up. Like it's a very powerful movement that we really, really enforce these athletes to do. And we see the strength and conditioning people in the world that they always implement that power clean and it's a difficult lift to do. So a lot of coaches also have that old school mentality, and we really want to be open to new philosophies and new ways to do stuff. And that's where we also kick in here, where we combine the old school. Yeah, it's good to do a squat and good to do a deadlift, but hey, let's do a proper movement because that's what we're focusing on: power, strength.
The game is changing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You can even see it. I mean, professional level. For example, baseball, they're hitting so many home runs now and like 400, 450 feet. And then you have these pitchers throwing 100 miles per hour already, man. Like, so people are wondering, like, how do you do this then? Yeah. I mean, it's just research, technology. I mean, the game is changing now. They're implementing so many stuff into a athlete's routine, like nutrition, strength and conditioning,
mobility,
all this stuff. So, I mean, that's why you see that now. Also in any other sport, track and field, sprinters, they're running so much fast, they're breaking records. I mean, it's going to keep changing, just like in education in any everyday life. Things change, and you got to adapt to that. You have to adapt.
You also have to adapt as coaches too, and you realize that, hey, we got to do this. So, we got to try something different.
So, I mean, like I said earlier, I mean, we can be here and talk and say a lot of stuff, but that's pretty much it about Synergy Sports, and I mean we're just so happy where we're at right now, and I don't know, we're just excited for the future and see where Synergy Sports take us. We're also kind of scared or happy at the same time, like where we're gonna end up in Synergy Sports. But yeah, I mean, it's stressful. It's a lot of work, but we love it.
Yeah, that's what makes it easier.
Yeah, it's like they say, when you're doing something that you love, it's not really work. Yeah.
It's not really a job.
Well, I don't want to take more of your time because it's almost 6 and you guys need to get ready. Okay. But yeah, thank you for letting me, interview you guys, and want to invite the community if you want to swing by and check you guys out. Like you guys said, they'll evaluate you and see if they're, not that they're not apt for the facility, but just to make sure that it is what you're looking for, because it's a specific type of gym, I guess we can call it. But I want to wish you nothing but the best, and I know you guys are gonna succeed, because you can tell that you're putting a lot of passion into it, and you can tell that the kids that you're working with really are really enjoying it and taking into it that that you guys are here for them and for the community. So thank you, and I guess, like I said, nothing but the best for you guys.
Thank you. Thank you for interviewing us.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate it. I mean, this is good. I mean, this is our first
professional interview.
Professional interview.
Professional interview. So, it's great.
So I'm not a first time right here.
I'm not a professional either. But yeah, thank you guys, and thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Thank you.